Hello, John Carroll. I'm Luis Jimenez.
And I'm Chris Burrell.
And this is JCTV News, Beyond the Headlines. And up first, we have a very helpful story conducted by Maya on how to deal with stress.
What is up, you guys? It's Maya, and this week I'm talking about how to deal with stress. So, let's get started. So for my first tip is to listen to music. Music has a way of calming our nerves and releasing us from the outside world, if only for a few moments. And it will definitely help relieve stress. 2 is to take a deep breath. Now, it might not be much, but it definitely helps calm your nervous system, which in the end helps relieve stress. 3 is laugh. Go see a comedy show or watch a funny movie or even talk to a friend that might make you laugh. Because what laughter does is it releases the endorphins that help decrease stress hormones. 4th, take a little time out of your day just for yourself. Find a hobby, whether it's arts and crafts or watching your favorite show. Find something that relaxes you and makes you happy. Because when you're happier, you're less stressed. And finally, stop trying to do everything at once. When you have a full plate, it may look intimidating and you will just freak yourself out. Try to take it step by step and divide all the things you need to do and get yourself organized. It's a great way to relieve stress and it just makes your life easier. If you follow these tips, I hope your life will be a little less stressful. And that's all from me. Back to you, Luis and Chris.
Thanks, Maya. And up next, we have Yorgo with the weather report.
Good morning, John Carroll. I'm Yorgo Saracen. I'm here with this week's weather report. So let's start on Wednesday. You got a high of 87 and a low of 66. Fairly warm but clear. Thursday, you're going to have some thunderstorms with a high of 82 and a low of 64. Friday, it's going to warm up and you got a high of 90 and a low of 71, but with thunderstorms. Saturday, though, the thunderstorm should go away and it should be clear and you got a high of 90 and a low of 70. Sunday, they're going to come back and you got a high of 83 and a low of 58. And Monday, coming back to school, it's going to be a little bit cooler. You got a high of 72 and a low of 52. Tuesday, about the same, a high of 78 and a low of 58. So now let's look at the actual weather. And as you can see, it's coming in from the west and it should be pretty bad Thursday and Friday and be okay by Monday. And that's it. Back to you, Louise and Chris.
Thanks, Yorgo, for the weather report. Up next, we have Joe King with Cavalier Sports.
Thanks, Louise. This week in sports, I want to say good job to the boys soccer team on your games against Woodlawn and St. John Paul, as well as the softball team against St. Clair County Tuesday. Last, I want to say good job to the golf team on your tournaments against Homewood and Holy Spirit. That's it. Back to you, Louise.
Thanks, Joe King. And up next up, our school president, Noah Smith.
Thanks, guys. This week we had the JC Film Festival on Friday. It starts at 6, so come out and support the film crew. Next week we have AP exams. The library will be closed all next week and the week after, so be prepared for that. Congratulations to our new SGA officers, especially our president, Anthony Bostani. And for all of you who are wondering, Relay was a success. Thank you all for coming out and participating. I look forward to it next year.
See this? This is why you need pencil pouches. I can sell you this blue pencil pouch for $9.99 and it can hold that and more. Pencil pouches are universal. Today I'm selling you this pencil pouch for $9.99. Just call 1-800-PENCIL-POUCHES and order one now.
Welcome back. And up next, we have the verse of the week coming to you from the Holy Bible.
And it comes from 1 Chronicles 29 and 11. And it reads, Yours, O Lord, are grandeur and power, majesty, splendor, and glory. For all in heaven and on earth is yours. Yours, O Lord, is the sovereignty. You are exalted as head over all.
Nice, nice. We got some worship in there today.
Yes.
Yep, it's always good to worship God. He's really good.
Yes, we should put God first.
Yeah, definitely above all things. Anyways, up next we have the Beasley Review.
Thanks, guys. And with Star Wars Celebration recently celebrating the 40th anniversary of the franchise, they released a bunch of new stuff, like Episode 8 trailer, a trailer for Season 4 of Star Wars Rebels, a trailer for the new Battlefront 2, and because of all of this, I'm in a huge Star Wars mood. So I'm going to be doing a character analysis on one of my favorite Star Wars characters, Obi-Wan Kenobi, as there are 3 people in the history of Star Wars who would consider him to be their greatest rival. Those being General Grievous, Darth Vader, and Darth Maul. But today I'm going to try and see who Kenobi himself would consider his greatest rival. And let's start that off with General Grievous. With Grievous, there really isn't much to go off of other than the fact that they fought multiple times during the Clone Wars, whether it was lightsaber to lightsaber or Starfleet to Starfleet. They fought more times than any other 2 generals throughout the armies of the Separatists and the Republic. But like I said, there's not much else to go off of with that rivalry other than the fact that Kenobi was the cause of Grievous's death. Which is why I'm going to be moving on from Grievous to our 2 real competitors in this debate, Vader and Maul. With Vader, he made Kenobi feel the greatest amount of betrayal in his life, as Obi-Wan viewed him as not only a close friend, but close enough to consider him to be a brother. Vader is also the one who killed Kenobi, and Kenobi sliced Vader almost in half as he severed all of his limbs from him and left him to die burning in lava. And while cutting off his limbs and leaving him to die, and the fact that Vader blamed him for the death of his wife, are great reasons. They're more so reasons for Vader to think of Obi-Wan as his enemy rather than Kenobi to think of Vader as his, as in between episodes 3 and 4, Kenobi didn't mind himself with Vader at all, and when he did during episode 4, he intended to die and only prolonged the fight until Luke showed up. Which is why that I believe the real winner of this contest is the final character on this list, Darth Maul. As Maul was the most personal to Kenobi. They fought a total of 6 times, as opposed to the only 2 times that Vader and Kenobi fought. And also, Maul killed 2 very important people in Kenobi's life. His master, Qui-Gon Jinn, and the love of his life, Satine Kryze. And on top of that, Maul was the only one of these 3 to make Kenobi feel true rage and have him tap into the dark side. And unlike with Vader, Kenobi constantly tried to hunt down to stop Maul, and their rivalry is one that lasted a total of 30 years, and it ended in a very poetic way. And so, there you have it. In my opinion, the greatest rival of Obi-Wan Kenobi was none other than the Darth Maul. Back to you, Luis and Chris.
Thanks, Will. Actually, personally, I think Darth Vader / Anakin Skywalker is the real arch nemesis of Obi-Wan Kenobi, just because of how close they were friendship-wise, and then just the stab in the back when he turned. But anyways, up next we have What's Trending, conducted by Morgan.
Hey JC, welcome back to What's Trending. Today we're talking about the Unicorn Frappuccino. The Unicorn Frappuccino is a colorful limited edition drink at Starbucks. The drink is a mix of whole milk, whipped cream, and sauces that have been dyed. It changes colors and flavor as you drink it. It has 59 grams of sugar. If you're unsure how much that is, grab a palmful of sugar, and that's about how much sugar is in it. It is available April 19th through 23rd. It is available at all local Starbucks. That sounds like a sweet drink to me. Back to you, Louise and Chris.
Thanks, Morgan. And actually, I got a chance to take. Okay, my bad.
Okay, take 2.
Thanks, Morgan. And actually, I did get a chance to taste the unicorn frap, and it's actually really sweet.
Really?
It's really sweet. So I don't know if I would. Actually, I like sweet stuff, so I actually think I would get it. But up next, we have some money talking about the assembly on Friday.
Thanks, Lisa and Chris. Today I'll be talking about the assembly on Friday called Philip's Legacy. What legacy are you leaving? Mike Lutzenkirchen, father of a former Auburn football player who died in 2014 in a tragic single-vehicle car accident, came to John Carroll and spoke to us and told us some very touching stories. One of the stories was about a little girl who had a tumor above her right knee, and how Mike's son stayed with this girl and canceled his spring break plans just to help her cope with the situation she was in. But of course, let us not forget the takeaway of the assembly, which is to be a great friend. And being a great friend means they will stop you from making bad decisions. And that's all. Back to you, Luis and Chris.
Thanks, Samane. And the assembly, it really touched me because I admit that I'm someone who drives distractedly sometimes. But, just being at the assembly and, just learning like what happens and, how dangerous it is, I really think that everyone should, be more cautious about it because it's really dangerous.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there on Friday, but it's definitely a very important message, not just for teens, but, for anybody that's driving. And this has been JCTV News Beyond the Headlines.
Signing out.